So we're back on our sideline sit down. Shea Patterson's going to be joining us here in just a quick minute. He stepped out for just a second, but he's our final guest of the day on our sideline sit down here on Real Sports Live. Earlier today, we had Real Hondo's Brett Esparza and Naeli Garcia join us on the show, followed by Estela Medellin, who signed her letter of intent. We had a special virtual signing earlier today. She's from Brownsville Porter. She's going to be running track and field at UTRGV. So we had that signing at 2. And then followed at 3 o'clock, our second guests of the day. We had Carlos Ervin and Alex Canul from Texas A&M Kingsville join us, along with Saul Garza, who's currently up at LSU. And those three guys are all Edinburgh North alums who are playing baseball at the next level. So those were our guests earlier today. And we're joined by Shea Patterson, who had to just step out for just a minute, but he's getting ready to join us here in just a second. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You can give us a like there, Real Sports Live, as we're continuing to bring you the fans, these shows, Sideline Sit Down, a name that we came up together and that we're producing shows every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1, 3, and 5 o'clock. And then especially with the time of year with signings, athletes looking to sign to the next level. We had already experimented earlier in the year with Maya Aguirre from Harlingen South. We had a little bit of a Zoom issues with the internet, but we were able to record her signing and then replay it later. And then today we had Estela's signing from Brownsville Porter, and we were able to have that live. So coaches and fans, if you have athletes that are signing, let us know, and we would love to live stream their signing. So we're joined by Shea Patterson. Shea, what's going on?
Not much, man. Just quarantining and enjoying some family time.
Shea Patterson, the current quarterback at University of Michigan and an NFL draft prospect. On the day before the NFL draft, Shea, thanks for making the time to join us here this afternoon.
No doubt. Thanks for having me, man.
We're talking about this whole quarantine deal, and we've talked to high school athletes, college athletes, pro athletes on how they're managing to stay in shape. For you in particular, getting ready for the draft, how has that been for you on managing to stay in football shape?
Yeah, I've been saying recently, just right after my bowl game we played Alabama January 1st, and then literally that was right after the season, and like 4 days later, went down to IMG to train for about 2 months. So it was a quick transition, and got a chance to go to the Senior Bowl, got a chance to work out at the Combine. And I've just been finding any way I can to work out, man. I try to go back to IMG, but all other stuff is closed down, and I've just been working out of a garage for the past month. So just doing whatever I can.
Did the NFL get in contact with you or Michigan on how to maybe proceed with your workouts? Were you limited, or was this kind of wherever you could find a place you could work out, you would work out?
I think for NFL current players, it's different because I think they give them equipment and they give them, everything they need to work out. But I'm not sure how college works. I haven't had any workout plan from them, but yeah, just been working out on my own.
Anything else on the side, that you've been in quarantine? Maybe some things you've picked up on, outside of football.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
I used to be a Fortnite guy. I play a little bit of video games. I'm so busy, and by the end of the day, I like to play some video games. But my little brother's ridiculous at Call of Duty, so he got me on that train.
Yeah. Anything you're watching on the side? Any binge watching? Any movies? Anything like that?
I started that Waco series.
Okay.
I'm only one episode in, but I think I'll end up binge watching it soon.
No, not a Tiger King fan, because I know everyone that's come on here has mentioned Tiger King.
No, I haven't even watched one episode. I don't know if I like it.
Definitely. I've yet to watch it, but again, I know everyone that's come on here, that's the first show they talk about is Tiger King. Let's talk about, your time here in the Valley, and then you moving to Louisiana, and just how, talk about your time here at Hidalgo. I believe you played for Spencer Gant in your time here. Just what was that like for you?
Man, it was awesome. It was a culture shock at first. I was 11, 12 years old when I first moved to the Valley, to Brownsville, Texas, from Toledo, Ohio. But yeah, it was a bit of a culture shock, and I was I was one of the only white kids, and really, it was awesome because I was accepted and welcomed with open arms, and that's a special part about the Valley. Such a family atmosphere, such a great feeling down there when I moved down there. So it was easy. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't as hard as the transition I thought it was going to be. But ended up moving down to Brownsville and then over to Hidalgo my seventh grade year, and then played up until my ninth grade. So I just had a great experience down there, and you know, just met so many great people, and I still miss it today.
You have a good relationship with Trevor Speights,
Yeah,
and we just saw Campbell Speights wrap up his high school career. Do you keep in contact with Trevor and Campbell at all?
yeah, that's crazy to think about, man. I played travel basketball and 7-on-7 with Trevor Speights all the way throughout middle school, and
Mhm.
my family and their family have a great relationship, so we talk all the time.
So
Um, it's just wild to even think that Campbell is in high school, let alone already graduated. So um, I don't know if he's graduated yet, but
he was a senior this year,
he was. Okay, yeah, time flies, man.
definitely. Yeah, and so you were in the mix with DJ Johnson, John Sanchez, and all those guys.
Oh yeah, Big John.
Yeah, Big John, exactly. All of 6'7". Just what was that travel ball team like for you guys? All Shea Patterson, Trevor Speights, DJ Johnson. Just what was that team like?
um, it was wild. I mean, it was fun. It was one of the most fun experiences I've had in my life. I loved travel baseball as a kid. I loved travel basketball before that, and then to kind of move down there and not only adjust to my living situations and all my friends. I get to join a team that I ended up creating lifetime bonds with. So you got John Sanchez, Trevor Speights, Tristan and Easton Upchurch, who played basketball down in the Valley, and yeah, man, we all still talk today. So it was a great experience.
Talk about your journey, after high school, and you started making a lot of big decisions, so just talk about that and what the college recruiting process was like and just how different it was for you.
Um, that's a good question, man. I got my first offer, my first scholarship offer, right after my freshman season when I was at Hidalgo, and my Coach Ford, who was the Scott Ford, who was the coach there, he sent my film in, and right away the teams got back to him and said they wanted to schedule a visit. So I went out to Arizona and um, kind of prematurely I committed there just because I was so excited and I didn't know how many looks I was going to get throughout high school. But I think that just goes to show that talent anybody can find you, regardless if you're in the Valley or wherever. If you put in the hard work and you dedicate yourself to it, somebody will find you and you will be successful. And there's way more examples of myself, like Trevor, a guy like Trevor Speights, who was at McCallum Memorial, and he ended up going to Stanford. So, yeah, man. Like I said, man, I miss the Valley.
Talk about your journey, to Ole Miss and then eventually landing at Michigan, and just what was that like going from the SEC now to the Big Ten? Just two major conferences. Being a part of college football and experience and all those things.
Right. It was great. It was great. I committed to Ole Miss my junior year, and then ended up going there for 2 years. And the program ended up getting, banned and were on allegations. So I ended up, transferring to Michigan. As a kid, when I was living in Toledo, Ohio, Michigan was my dream school. My dad used to tell me bedtime stories at night about me playing in the big house, and it was all just one big dream, and I was just so happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, Ann Arbor is definitely a special place. We have family that live in Michigan, and they're all big Blue fans, so they're excited to see you on the show here today. What was the best part about playing in the big house? Because I know we talked with Gunnar Henderson from Mac High last week. He talked about the beauty of playing at Kyle Field, and you get to play at the big house. Just what was that like for you?
I played at Kyle Field one night.
That's right. Yeah, against A&M. Yeah, that's right.
That was a great game.
That
Yeah,
was like
man.
your coming out game.
Huh?
That was like your coming out game. I know you had a big game that night, and that's when a lot of people started to recognize the name Shea Patterson.
Yeah, that was my first game. Playing in the big house, It was amazing, dude. It was, everything I could have dreamt of, and I think just the electricity from the fans, at home games, and we travel well as well. So I think the fan base was the most exciting part. And like I said, I literally dreamt of playing in a big house. So having that understanding that you're fortunate enough and you're blessed and you work hard to get where you are, you're able to enjoy it. And um, yeah, I'm always gonna miss playing there, and just happy that it happened.
Coach Harbaugh, what was it like playing for him? Obviously a big name in the NFL and a big name in college football, and him being a Michigan alum. Just what was it like playing for him?
It was very cool. It was very cool playing for him because before I got to Michigan, like Coach Harbaugh was you know an icon like in my world because in the football where it's a huge name, and just going in there and getting to know him and getting taught by him and learning from him every single day, and visualizing and seeing how he goes about through his day and why he's so successful. Um, it was cool. It was cool, and I was just very fortunate to be a part of it.
I've seen Coach Harbaugh joke that he has a vitamin every day, and it's called a steak. Does he eat as much steak as he says he does?
Steak and a glass of milk. That's his signature meal.
That's his signature. There you go. Talk about what made you feel that like that you were ready to enter the draft, and leading up to your decision on entering the NFL draft.
Wow, man. I played 4 years. I started as a freshman. I'd planned on redshirting, um, but I ended up playing the last 3 games of my freshman season. I went out and played 5 games my sophomore year, or seven, maybe I think seven. And then I got hurt, and so that cut the season in half. And then so my junior year was actually like my first full year as a starter. So I feel like I got a lot of experience under my belt, and I learned from so many great coaches. And I think mentally, I'm ready to go, and I was ready to go. And I just feel like it was time. And I had the opportunity to come back for a 5th year, but I wouldn't have found out if I was going to be eligible for the next season, or if it was going to get approved until like after the Senior Bowl. So I had to make a decision.
Talk about the NFL Combine and just what was that like experiencing that? It's still in Indianapolis, right? The Combine.
Yep.
Yeah. So just walk us through the Combine and maybe what stood out to you.
It was a long experience, man. Long days, early mornings and long nights. I think I spent like 10 hours at the hospital one day just getting X-rays and MRIs on parts of my body I thought were never injured, and they're not, but they literally checked every aspect of my body, and that took forever. So that was a day. But I think just being around that NFL experience and being around those scouts, being around those coaches, getting to talk to them, and them, getting to know you through the interview process is very beneficial. So I think just the overall experience was great, and um, the combine day was a little long, um, but like I said, man, it was my dream to play at Michigan. It was my dream to compete at the NFL Combine, so I was happy to be there.
The draft class you're in with the quarterbacks, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts. Talk about this draft class that you were part of.
Just a lot of guys that I've been competing with ever since I was a senior in high school. Um, a guy like Jalen Hurts, who I've known ever since I was a junior, senior in high school. We've been competing at camps, all-star games. So it's cool to see everybody kind of that I've been not working with, but sharing this competitive, whatever I'm trying to say. But I think I'm just happy for everybody else and all my teammates, and it's going to be a special day tomorrow. I don't know, when I'll be taken, or whether it's day 2 or 3. I'm just going to try to make the most of my opportunity.
Talking about the draft, it being tomorrow in these next couple of days, what were your thoughts on the virtual draft? And obviously it's something that's new to everyone, including you guys in the NFL. So just what were your thoughts on a virtual draft?
It's weird, you're doing interviews and FaceTime and, Zoom videos like we're doing right now with all the coaches. Obviously I got a chance to meet and talk to a lot of coaches at the combine and at Senior Bowl. So, FaceTime interviews, I haven't done a ton of those, but it's a little different. It's not what I expected. I don't think it's what anybody expected, but it is what it is, and we'll find out where I'm at in a few days.
Obviously, there's a little extra emotions, the nervousness of being in the draft, but like we talked before, your dad wanted to be there with you. So just talk about the emotions that you'll be going through these next couple of days. That I'm sure your dad will be on FaceTime with you. You guys will find somehow to get connected, but just talk about that and the unfortunate circumstance where he just won't be able to be there with you.
Yeah, it's just tough. It's tough, for everybody. I have a couple of friends whose parents are sick and severely sick, so I'm there in my prayers, every day. And my dad is one of those warrior work guys, and I don't think he's going to leave the house. But man, I'm just going to enjoy it, and they wish me nothing but the best and to be happy. So I'm just looking forward to it.
Yeah, he also mentioned your Uncle Chris and how he was doing. He still lives here in the Valley.
Yeah, he's doing good, man. He's doing good. I talk to him every couple of weeks. He was actually the reason why we moved to Brownsville, Texas, because when my dad lost his job up in Ohio, we wanted to get by family, and my dad, mom and dad aren't around anymore, and Uncle Chris was all he had, so he was a pivotal part of us coming down there in the Valley and getting this whole thing started.
What has all of this set in for you? That they have the potential of being drafted, or is it going to be tomorrow? Is it when it may kick in, or when they call your name, or when do you feel that reality will set in and realize that the combine was real, Michigan was real, and being in the NFL?
It probably won't set in until it actually happens. That's just kind of how I view a lot of things. I don't try to put myself through it twice or think about it too much. I just kind of let things happen. As long as I take care of my business, I know it'll all work out. I'm just happy. I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait, and I don't think until it happens, it'll sink in. So I'm looking forward to
it. Being that you have Valley ties, your name still gets tossed around plenty here, during football season, and with guys like you and Trevor Speights. And do you have any specific message to the Valley athletes out there watching? Maybe just on advice on maybe recruiting or working, or just any advice you have for them.
Yeah, I think one, you want to get in a situation to where you're around the right people, and you're around a good coach who cares about you, and who cares about his program, and who cares about developing your future. Because that's what I had. That's what I had in Coach Scott Ford. So I think that, wherever you choose to go to school, just make sure it's a place where you can excel. Because no matter where you're from, like I said it earlier, regardless if you're in the Valley, like as long as you put in the work and you get in front of the right people, you're gonna be fine, and you can achieve anything you want to achieve.
Any shout outs you'd like to give to maybe family or friends?
Let's see. I'll give a not really.
No, that's
Nah,
cool.
just to the whole Valley, man. Just the whole Valley. I miss everybody, and I can't wait to get back. And whenever I find out where I'm going to be playing at, I can't wait to get back and give back and get down there and work camps and just be around that atmosphere again.
Your dad wanted to give a shout out to your Outlaws basketball team.
My Outlaws basketball team.
Yeah.
Man, we can do a shout out to the Hoop Dogs.
There you go. Yeah, whoever.
Shout out to the Hoop Dogs, man. Calvin Handy, Trevor Speights, John Sanchez, Tristan and Easton, my boys. Love y'all.
Definitely. That's Shea Patterson.
Hobby too. Can't forget Hobby.
There you go. That's U of M quarterback and NFL draft prospect Shea Patterson joining us here on a Sideline Sit Down. Shea, thanks for joining us. I know you've been a very busy person, and a special thanks to your agent Brian and your dad for helping set all this up. So we appreciate that.
No, thank you so much, man.
We wish you the best, and we'll be watching and wait for your name to be called.
Alrighty.
Thank you. Be safe.